So after identifying the goal, audience, and key messages, the next step is to identify how you're going to deliver your message to your audience. Who delivers your message is just as important as what you choose to say. The right message conveyed by a messenger your audience trusts is likely to be heard, but the opposite is also true. To identify an effective messenger, consider who your audience respects and who they will listen to. Then find out if that person is willing to share your message with your audience. Going back to our Clement Reef example, let's say our target audience is male fishers over 40 who fish for conch at Clement Reef Atoll. So now that we know this, and we need to focus in on this specific group and ask ourselves, who does our audience respect? So for example, is it other older conch fishers perhaps? A local restaurant owner who purchases conch from that fisher or those fishers? Or is it family, in particular their spouses? So we've seen a similar exercise in thinking about our target audience before. So once we consider that question, then we have to think about, will that person help us share our message? And identifying messengers can be a sensitive undertaking. It's important to be transparent and find messengers who align with your project. And potential messengers may need support to become comfortable and effective in delivering your message in their own voice or in their own way. And that's a really important point. Here are a few examples of the kinds of people who can be excellent messengers. And of course, it's totally different with each project in each region. I won't read that full list there, but community leaders, talking about people such as maybe a church leader, cultural practitioner. Celebrities could be local musicians or radio or TV personalities. And I just wanted to highlight that last bullet, someone already participating in an activity you want to promote. And I find this one really useful. And there's an example on the right. This is an example from the West Maui Kumuvai campaign, which aims to inspire residents in West Maui, Hawaii to take action to keep polluted runoff from reaching the ocean. And to promote runoff reducing behaviors, the campaign highlighted community members who were already partaking in the activities that they wanted to promote. So for example, Charlie, who's featured in that ad there, was already using organic gardening practices. So he was a natural and authentic messenger for this campaign. He could speak in his own words about his own actions. So West Maui Kumuvai's job here was and is really just to shine a spotlight on Charlie and help share his messages. Select tactics that reach your audience. And by reach, I mean get their attention and connect with them. The best communications efforts use the most direct tactics. So start with learning how your audience gets information and choose a tactic that reaches them as directly as possible. So going back to our conch fishers at Clement Reef example, we want to get conch fishers to participate in the decision-making process for creating a marine protected area. So we need to focus in on this specific group again and ask ourselves, where does this audience go for information? A good tactic may be meeting them at the docks after they're done fishing to talk around a cooler, or placing articles or ads in a local publication that we know they actively read. Maybe it's attend a town meeting or two, or place a series of public service announcements on a popular local radio station you know that audience listens to. It's really important to select a variety of tactics to engage your target audience. We want to engage them multiple times and in multiple places because repetition really helps break through that clutter. Tactics can include meetings, presentations, websites, social media, paid advertising, field trips, mascots. The list goes on, and I'm sure many of you have your own great examples. On the Messengers and Tactics webpage, we've provided some tactic ideas for audience type. So these tabs just provide a real high-level example of effective communication tactics for various target audiences. They also provide some tips for implementation. And this is just to give you a taste of the kind of tactics that could be appropriate for your audience. We've also created a little idea bank to help get your brainstorm going. And we'll let you explore this idea bank on your own. It's the most fun part of the whole planning process, in my opinion. But I will give you one taste of a tactic as a tee up for our measurement section, which will be next. So coming back to the West Maui Kumuvai campaign example, this is the Ocean Preserve program, and it was a project aimed to lower barriers stopping West Maui residents from taking action. So West Maui Kumuvai partnered with local retailers to promote ocean-friendly yard products as a way to keep polluted runoff out of the ocean. And this was really designed to address the barrier of people not knowing which products are better for the ocean, or maybe it was not wanting to do the research, but regardless of that, not having that information. So West Maui Kumuvai created lists of recommended products and made it easy to get this information right at that point of purchase. So in that store, by stickering recommended products, so placing those stickers that you see there on the right on the products themselves, by placing them also on the shelves, there were labels in front of the products, and putting in-store signage next to those products. Also working training staff or employees in those stores to be able to answer questions and provide brochures and more information if necessary. So I just wanted to share that example, and brainstorming tactics I think can be really fun. It's important to, of course, keep in mind that your budget, staff, and circumstances can affect which tactics you're able to implement. That's a no-brainer, but feel like it's important to restate. We've included a few guiding questions to help you consider which tactics are right for you in the worksheet section. So when it's your turn, you have that guidance. So over the next week and a half, you're tasked with completing the messenger and tactics worksheets. Just like previous sections, detailed instructions or tips are provided. When you're working on the tactics worksheet, just make sure to leave the third column blank. You'll be using that for the next step when you consider how you're going to measure each tactic. And there'll be a reminder there on the worksheet for you.